Oh, to be honest, if I had a gun, I wouldn't be wearing my shoes at home.
Dude, if
But first of all, what do you? It looks like you're drinking apple juice.
No,
what
I
is
thought
this?
it looked like piss.
It's a whiskey. What's it with ice?
Oh,
But
whiskey on the rocks.
on the
Oh.
rocks. Yeah, I thought to get here at 5:30,
yeah.
and then I re-looked at the thing, and it was
Jesus.
6:30. So I was like, all right,
whoops.
well, I'm just going to go to a bar.
Yeah.
And I've had this for about 45 minutes now. So I've just been kind of holding a whiskey.
It's just a whiskey with melted ice in it.
Oh, that's all.
in
It's
a
just,
plastic cup. It really looks like apple juice.
Yeah.
I know.
I was like,
Yeah.
that's so cute.
Yeah.
I got worried about getting caught drinking booze on the street because you're not allowed to, right?
Mhm. No.
And so I was walking with my hands like this, just
Yeah.
down the street, like
Yeah.
I was in prayer or something. I was like, oh, that's not good either.
And somebody's like, what is he doing over there?
Yeah.
Oh, it's just piss. It's fine.
Yeah, just walking with a cup of piss.
Also, just like ice cold piss with like condensation
Yeah.
around it.
It's the most refreshing glass of piss I've ever had.
Also, praying while walking is such a like, oh no, I got too much to do. I
Yeah.
got to pray while I exercise.
You're like, I love God, but I'm so busy.
I'm swamped right now. Yeah.
Like I remember in college, I would always be eating while I was walking because I felt like I had no time, even though I had way more time in college than I do now.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah, okay. I don't think I've ever eaten a meal on the go.
it's terrible.
Yeah,
Don't
it
do
seems really
I used to do it all the
Yeah, it
time.
sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Most I'll do McDonald's on the go,
Mhm.
but I feel like that is fine.
Yeah.
Right?
That's what it's for.
I think it is.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
that.
It's weird.
packaged
I always
that
find it
way.
weird when you walk past a McDonald's and it's fucking packed.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
people are sitting in there. It's like,
Yeah,
get out. You can't
there's
be
like
doing that.
families enjoying themselves. It's like they're doing a commercial.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, that's not what it's really for, right?
Except
That's
for
just for commercials.
families are always miserable.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Some of them
the
looked
opposite of
happy in the last time I passed. This happened like last week. What was I doing? I guess I went shopping somewhere. And some of them looked happy in there.
Yeah, okay.
That's why I was like, there's no way.
Did
This is
you
like a
guys-
promo thing.
Did you ever do a birthday at McDonald's?
I don't know.
Oh, the play place.
I probably did. I probably asked for that.
Yeah, okay.
Definitely been at other birthdays.
I've been at so many
Yeah.
birthdays at McDonald's.
Discovery Zone? Oh wait, did you have that?
I
Probably
don't think
not in
so.
Australia.
No.
Yeah.
Is that
What's
just like a
Discovery
playground?
Zone?
It's just like a what do you call it? You know those
I don't
small
know.
theme parks for kids? They're,
Are you-
A playground?
Yeah, yeah.
It's just
It
like
sounds like
sick-
a playground.
It's just a sick playground, but it's indoors and
Oh,
there's
gotcha.
tubes and ball
Okay.
pits. and
Yeah, I've never
stuff.
heard of that. We didn't have it either.
We had, I mean, it wasn't called that, but
Yeah.
yeah, like
Yeah.
an indoor playground thing.
Yeah.
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 And
Yeah.
at McDonald's.
Yeah,
Wow.
we used to have them at McDonald's too.
Oh, I always thought they were called play places at McDonald's. Or is
It's-
Discovery Zone a different
Discovery Zone is
business?
just a brand.
Gotcha. It's a
Yeah.
brand of
Yeah,
indoor.
and the ad
theme
is
park for
"Get in the
kids."
zone, Discovery Zone." It's something
That's-
like that. It's
also,
like way
that's-
too extreme.
That's AutoZones.
Oh my god, I mixed them up. Wait, you're right. It's not. It's just AutoZone.
That's just AutoZone,
As
dude.
I was saying it, I started to get a little unsure of myself towards the end, but then I was like, you know it. You know Discovery Zone. It's AutoZone.
Dude, the commitment was beautiful.
Yeah.
It was perfect.
Now I don't know what the saying is, but we'll find it. Wait. So also before the pod, we were talking about how, okay, Blake, well, we haven't even introduced our guest.
Let's do the intro and then we'll get
Yeah.
into your weird shoe thing.
Welcome to Worthless
Fucking
Clowns.
hell, mate. What a setup, eh?
We got a weird shoe thing coming up.
Jesus.
You're going to want to listen to this. Don't stop listening like you normally do in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, what the
Whoever
fuck?
you are.
Get back here.
Yeah. Welcome to Worthless Clowns. It's a podcast about how stupid we all are. I'm Brittany Cardwell, Brittany's Cardwell on Instagram.
And I'm Allie O'Neill. You can find me on Instagram at It's Allie O'Neill. We got a special guest today. We got he's a comedian from Australia. We got Blake Freeman.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
And what's your Instagram? Where can I follow you?
I think it's Blake Freeman Comedy.
Nice.
Cool.
Or maybe
I
that's
love,
my TikTok.
I love a comic who doesn't know their handle. That's like refreshing. you know?
yeah.
Dude,
I know every comic's handle and I don't want to.
Real.
Yeah,
See,
It just shows up.
Yeah.
I don't. I never look at my shit. Like I don't know
Yeah.
what I'm doing on it.
Yeah.
Like I post once
That's
every like
perfect.
6 months.
Yeah.
But like I just scroll. Like I
Uh-huh.
love. Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes I'll accidentally introduce a comic when I'm hosting as their Instagram handle.
Oh yeah, I've done
Really?
that
Like
before.
Brittany Carney, I've done that way. I think we
Yeah,
talked
and
about this.
Mo Singleton.
Yeah.
his
Mo De Niro.
I call him Mo De Niro, and then he's
Yeah.
like, "That's not my." And I'm like, "Bro,
Yeah.
I barely know who you are."
Brittany Carney is Brittany Carnage.
Yeah.
I'm
Brittany
like, put your hands
Carnage.
together for Brittany Carnage. They think it's her stage name.
I was going to say,
that
that's
she
such a
didn't
funny
choose.
comic name.
Yeah,
like
It sounds like a
Brittany-
wrestler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brittany Carnage.
You were talking about your
Your super
My
normal
fucking-
foot thing.
Yeah, it's
Shoe
not.
thing.
It's like when you. Also, I feel like when you say foot versus shoe, it sounds like sexual. I mean, it's
Yeah,
like
it's
Yeah.
a shoe thing.
it's a shoe thing.
It's a shoe thing. Sorry. Yeah.
It's. I just don't. I don't know. I don't feel comfortable not being in shoes.
yeah.
And I'm 28. I feel comfortable knowing that about me.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
Okay.
I'm
Is
like,
this the
this
thing
is
you
me
were
now.
trying not to be for a while?
Oh, for
You're
sure.
like, I gotta be a guy comfortable without shoes.
Dude, I tried.
You're like practicing it.
I tried socks. I tried flip flops. They didn't work.
You just go through a whole day like super anxious because your feet aren't in shoes. Wait, so you're saying you feel like you need them in case you have to bolt?
In case,
Yeah.
I don't know, it's like a weird survive. I'm like, if I need to get out of this situation, I've got grip from the shoes. Because if someone breaks
what
into the
happened
house,
to you?
I don't know. I honestly could not tell you why I'm like this, but this is me. It sucks so bad. I was saying before, I have to, if like I wear shoes when I shit, gross, whatever. But I also, if I'm in bed and I need to shit, I then get out of
Wait.
bed
It's not gross to wear shoes when you take a shit.
It's also
Is it
not
not?
gross.
no.
Well,
at home.
I don't think it's gross. I think
Yeah,
it's
okay.
weird.
Okay.
I think it's weird.
yeah. I don't know why I was like,
I think it's
that's
weird
so
to,
much nicer.
to get out of bed to put shoes on before doing anything else.
Yeah.
Like if you're getting back in bed.
That's how I start like before I have a coffee in the morning, I already have shoes on.
Yeah.
Before
Oh
I've
my
like gotten
God.
out of bed and had some water,
Huh.
I have shoes on.
Huh.
Like
So,
it's
like-
the first thing I do.
When you're like relaxing watching TV at your apartment, you have shoes on.
I have shoes on.
Ah.
That's
Every time.
wild.
I can't not. It's weird to me that people don't wear shoes.
Huh.
Is your fiance the same way?
Hates it. Hates that I wear shoes.
I would fucking hate it too.
When-
She gets so mad.
Do you
When
know
did
how
this
much
come
piss is
up?
on the sidewalks? It's
Oh,
all in
dude,
your
there's
house.
times where I've been in bars and I'm like, it's so gross that I'm about to walk into our bedroom with these
But
shoes
you
on.
gotta
should
get
just
house shoes.
Get house shoes.
I can't afford them. If I could afford them, I would.
Because you want to wear nice shoes in your house too.
Oh,
'Cause
yeah.
They
yeah.
can't be
Yeah.
like
That's part of the
slip-ons. They have
comfort.
to be like a sneaker.
Yeah. It
Okay.
has to be something with laces.
Like
and then I'm
snug.
sweet. Yeah.
And a
Gotcha.
good sole and everything.
My partner bought me, I tried, what's like fancy flip-flops? What are they called?
Oh, I don't know.
I have
Like
no
the
idea.
real fancy ones, like Nike made them and
Oh,
shit.
slides?
Slides.
Oh,
I have
yeah.
slides,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a pair of slides.
But then your toesies are out, which we've
Toes
talked
are
about.
out.
You
Yeah.
I hate that.
It's a
Yeah.
problem.
But I pushed through because my fiance got them for me and she was like, you should try wear these. And then the day after she bought them for me, I'm sorry to start off so gross. Our toilet clogged
yeah.
and wouldn't stop running water. Like I turned the water off, but
Oh.
it kept running.
Oh, no.
And it was
boy.
like after I'd
Yeah.
expelled demons, and so the toilet was flooding with just fucking disgusting water. And I had to get a jar from the kitchen and was like scooping it into
Yeah.
and then pouring that into the
Oh,
bucket
no.
because the bucket was too big, so I
Yeah.
couldn't fit it into it.
Oh, yeah.
But then the water kept going, so then it's spilling out onto the side, onto the slides.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude.
And you're
So-
like, this is why I wear shoes.
Dude, you're making a joke. That's exactly what happened. I was like, my toes have shit on them. This is why if you wear shoes, this doesn't fucking happen.
Bro, but then your fucking one pair of shoes would have shit all over them.
That's
Yeah.
true.
yeah.
You know what
I
I
hadn't
mean?
thought about that. I think
And then
I
you
need
wouldn't
house
be able to
shoes.
get another pair, apparently.
Yeah. Wait, so when you and your fiance first started dating, was this a big talk in the beginning? Like one of those arguments that doesn't feel like it matters, and then you realize it does.
No, I think we didn't talk. I think I wore shoes on the sly.
On the slide.
Where, like-
You like hid that. You put on like fake feet
Yeah,
over the
I put
shoes.
on really baggy tracksuit pants, so it hung over the shoe.
You were wearing like a baby footsie thing with
Yeah.
shoes underneath.
I don't know. She didn't notice it for ages. And then when she started, it's only in like the last year where she's noticed.
Oh, okay.
Well, because now, like coming from outside in New York,
Oh, yeah.
dude, there's so
It's
much
more
like
like,
noticeable.
yeah, there's just so much dirt that you bring
Yeah.
in.
I care
So
more here too than I ever did.
Totally.
before.
Yeah, well, it's so hard not to.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
also, I'm like, I think it's made me a more conscious walker because I'm like actively. Dude, this is how I justify everything I do.
Walker.
I know this is mental gymnastics right now to make this acceptable in any
also-
way.
You're
I
like
think-
congratulating yourself on the way you walk to avoid dirt.
Dude, he's walking like this. He's like,
Yeah, dirt, dog shit. I'm avoiding everything. Like, if you saw me walk, you'd be like, "That's impressive."
Whoa, that guy doesn't step in piles at all. No piles. I watched him for an hour. I followed him for an hour. Didn't step in one
not a
pile.
single pile.
Not even a small pile. Man,
God, it's so
there was
wild.
something else that happened that we were like, oh,
The
tall
tall poppy syndrome.
Oh
syndrome.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah. How did that even come up? Oh, you were saying in Australia they don't really do credits
No,
for,
never.
for comics.
Yeah, no.
Like here they're like seen them on Comedy Central, you know, a lot of made up stuff too.
yeah.
Totally. Yeah, like people.
Oh
will-
yeah, I've been on Amazon Prime, kind of.
Yeah, no, I went on, our friends had
Yeah.
or one friend and one person that we hate with our guts, had a, like, sports
Rad.
talk show.
Let's say the name. Let's.
They had a sports talk show and I went on it twice. And when I, like, am submitting to, like, festivals and shit, I'm like, been on Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
I
It-
was on Amazon Prime for 2 minutes on a thing that you can't find anymore, by the way.
What? So
You
it was
can't
on.
find it?
I think they don't have it up
Oh.
anymore because it was live on
Yeah.
Amazon.
Oh, it was like a stream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's just not. It's not a thing in Australia. Like no
Mhm.
one says
Yeah.
it. Well, I mean, it's such a small country where like. If you either have or haven't seen the next performance, like there's kind of
Totally.
no
Yeah,
middle
yeah,
ground.
yeah.
Like there's no
That's
like,
true.
Yeah,
oh, I know them from that.
Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you just haven't.
Yeah.
totally.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it's so funny when you see stuff
Yeah.
here.
Totally.
Where it's
I lived in New Zealand for a while. I told you that probably.
you really?
Right?
Oh,
Yeah, and
maybe,
I
yeah.
remember
8
Tall
years.
Poppy being such a thing.
It's like such a thing.
Yeah, no one would let themselves be rewarded, or they could be, but then they wouldn't want to celebrate it.
No, you
You
can't.
can't be too excited about your success.
Yeah, if you
Yeah.
are at all, I didn't really notice it until I moved
Mhm.
because it's like you see how people like here
Yeah.
interact.
Yeah.
I did, dude. It was like a fucking mic,
Yeah.
and it was a Michael.
Well, this is a different group of people.
Yeah. No, yeah.
fair. But I saw this dude, and he bombed so hard. But
Yeah.
like, you know, when you make eye contact with someone afterwards, and you just feel the need to be like,
Oh yeah.
great
Yeah.
job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so he walked past, and I was like, hey, that was funny.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, I'm getting better. And dude, in my head, I was like, what a fucking wanker. Like, you can't fucking say you're getting good at something
This
when
guy
you're a
accepted
psycho.
my compliment that
Yeah.
I gave.
That
That's
I
crazy.
voluntarily
Yeah,
put out
yeah.
there. He
Yeah,
did
yeah,
not. We made eye contact for less than a second. Like,
It's just crazy though, because like you both know what really happened, or you should.
I don't
yeah.
think
And so
he
you
knows.
can still no, that's what I'm saying is like you can still compliment him. Like we're both working out new stuff, whatever. Like good job trying is
Yeah.
really what you meant, probably.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
then
good
he's
try.
he's
That-
like, yeah,
that
no,
would
I
be
did
so
I did do
funny.
pretty good, huh? I'm improving every day.
Yeah.
That's what the
Maybe
vibe
he
was.
is though. Maybe that was better than
That's
than
what
yesterday.
I think it was. It was like
Yeah.
him being so self-aware of like, you know what, I am kind of getting better. Like,
Yeah.
You know, I've been tracking my progress. I got a graph going, and this is better than yesterday.
Here's the thing. I don't trust comedians who
No.
are like that at all. The only comedians I trust are like, I'm a fucking piece of shit and I should die after they
Yeah.
bomb. Like,
And
if-
every so often they feel good.
yeah. If they like absolutely murder, like 50% of the time, they'll be like, yeah, that felt good.
yeah. It's
Those are the
yeah,
only
yeah, yeah.
comics I trust.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
It's like
because-
not a crush, but it's like, yeah, it was better than the last one.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
yeah.
God,
Yeah.
fucking crazy. Oh, you guys should explain what tall poppy syndrome is to the listeners.
It's basically what we were saying is like you can't like you're not it's like you're not allowed to share your success and
Well,
be
it's-
confident.
It's like the idea of like how Poppy sometimes, like Poppy normally grows at like
Yeah.
the same height, but if
Mhm.
one grows taller, they cut it down.
Yeah,
And it's a thing where in Australia and New Zealand,
Yeah.
if someone starts to get ahead of where everyone else is,
Yeah.
everyone wants to cut them down.
It's
and
like
you
a
also,
negative
you
thing.
feel the
Yeah.
need to cut yourself down because you're
Yeah.
like, no,
Yeah.
I'm just a normal person.
Regular poppy
Yeah.
right here.
Yeah, I'm just a
a
look at
couple
me.
feet
I'm in
high.
the poppy
I don't know how
field.
tall
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just hanging out, feeling just as much breeze as
You're
the
like
rest of you guys.
you're like bending your like the lower part of your
Yeah.
branch or whatever down.
Yeah, it's like how tall guys
no.
take photos. Like,
yeah, they're like hunched over.
No,
Yeah.
I'm not making progress at all. I don't know why.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
How long did you live in New Zealand for?
8 years.
True. Oh,
Mhm.
you were there for
Forever.
fucking ages.
I was in Wellington for the first 5
Nice.
and then Dunedin for like 2.5.
Dunedin. Is that
Yeah.
south?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't think I've ever
It's
been
really
there.
pretty. Have you been to the South Island at all?
No.
Oh.
I've been to Auckland.
It's
That's about it.
beautiful. I mean, all of New Zealand's beautiful, but the
It's
South
crazy,
Island has
yeah.
like different stuff, I feel like.
Real?
Yeah.
Is it more beachy?
I feel like the North Island is more beachy.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, the South, that's just so many beaches.
I was gonna say
around
it's like
New
a
Zealand.
tiny. The
It's an
island's like
island.
5 k's
Yeah.
wide. Like
Yeah.
yeah. It's all beach, really.
Yeah. But I feel like the South has more like, I don't know, big mountainsides and like there's glaciers and stuff.
Really?
Oh, shit,
Yeah.
because it's so south.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It snows in New Zealand.
Mm-hmm.
Damn,
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Well, it's
Like,
like
I
way
don't even think I have enough knowledge to share this. But
It's so funny that it's like coming to New York. I'm learning about New Zealand, the
Yeah.
country that's 3 fucking hours away.
yeah. What part of Australia are you from?
I'm from Melbourne.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I've been there
like
once.
southern.
I liked it.
It's a great city.
Mhm.
It's we call it mini New York, but most people in Melbourne who call it that have also never been to New York.
They're like,
Everybody
we
wants
have
to be a
buildings.
mini New York.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's so funny.
They're like, we also have sidewalks here. It's just like New York.
Yeah, we call them footpaths though, 'cause
Yeah,
we're crazy.
Oh, God.
Should we get into
Yeah,
your
you got
story?
a stupid story for
I've got
us?
a couple. I've got
Yeah.
like quite a few.
Yeah,
Okay.
fucking lay them on us.
Yeah, this one's a short one.
Okay.
Mhm.
So this happened yesterday, the day that I was asked to do this. I was in the shower. I nearly died
Ooh,
Oh, my
because
God.
I was
slippery.
no.
you have your shoes
dude,
on?
that would be
Every time I get in the shower, I think I'm going to hit my head.
do
And
you
I think
mean?
I'm going to die.
What, you're just
Yeah.
gonna go down?
I think I'm going to slip because it's slippery in there, right?
It is.
And I'm going to hit my head on the faucet.
What's?
Every day.
I still haven't learned what the faucet is.
That's where the water comes out.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
the tap. Yeah.
The tap, yeah.
Yeah, that's stressful. That sucks.
Yeah, yeah. And then I saw someone worrying about it on TV once, and I was like, oh! Now I like really will worry because other people worried.
It's
Yeah.
legitimized your fear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never had that. I was brushing my teeth. I only brush my teeth in the shower,
Mhm.
and
Do you shower twice a day or?
I just realized as soon as I said that I don't shower at night, so I only brush my teeth once a day.
Yeah.
I think I'm slowly learning hanging out that I'm a bit of a fucking pig. It sucks.
Oh, God. No, that's
But no
great.
shoes in the shower.
No shoes in the
Okay,
shower.
not a pig.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be unacceptable.
They're never cleaned except through like moisture through his shoes.
Yeah, they're just moldy
Dude, yeah, I was
all
gonna
the
say my
time.
shoes
God.
are fucking green.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I was in the shower and I was brushing my teeth, and I took a break to shadow box in the shower, and I swear to God, I hit the toothbrush when I was like coming back,
Oh no.
and I sent it down my throat,
Oh my god.
and I started fucking choking on the
Oh
toothbrush.
my god.
Bro, if you had died and they found your body, they would be like, all right, so there is blunt force trauma to the head, but there's also a toothbrush 6 inches down his throat.
This dude died from self-inflicted CTE.
Yeah.
Man, hearing that story is like making me gag.
Dude,
Almost. Like
it
I'm on the
was
verge a lot.
the work, because it was obviously like bristles
Yeah.
first.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
had the bristles like down.
Oh.
It was like fucking far down. Like,
Oh my
I
god.
could feel the top end of the toothbrush was at the back of my throat
Oh!
on the way down.
So then did you had to pull
I had
it
to
out?
reach in and rip it out.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
This is
Like,
crazy.
dude, it sucks.
Was it
so much.
blocking your breathing?
Yeah, I was choking. I was fully choking on it. I literally was like, I'm gonna die in the
Oh
shower
my
choking on the
God.
toothbrush.
That's scary.
I came out and I was so stressed out by it. I didn't tell my fiance up until like 3 hours later.
Yeah. You were like in shock.
Dude, I had to emotionally deal with it.
Remember earlier when I was acting weird? I choked on
She's like, "Is everything okay?" And you're like, "I'm fine."
Yeah, she was like,
Everything's fine.
"What's up with your voice? Are you losing your voice? Like, what's going on?" I fucking ran the toothbrush.
Man, that's terrifying.
That's so insane, dude.
I know, it sucks so bad.
Yeah.
I literally was like, I'm gonna die. My girlfriend has to explain this to my mom. If they can at least, I had to explain to her. I was like, if that ever happens again and I do die, it's because I was shadowboxing. It wasn't on purpose. Like, don't be stressed out.
Yeah, like that's the way you're gonna commit suicide.
I know. Yeah, that's the worst
Nobody
way to
does
do
the
it.
toothbrush move.
That's like the worst way to kill yourself.
Yeah.
That's like when like women in like old stories walk into a lake.
Yeah,
It's like it just sounds awful.
I've never understood that. I'm like, how did they get so far out and not,
Yeah.
like, you know
I
what
know.
I mean?
Don't you have like instincts to fucking whatever? I don't know. I guess you have to
Man.
be really sad to kill yourself. Who knew?
I just nodded on myself. I'm so sorry.
I thought something fell behind me. It
I
was
think
like a
I
weird
shot out.
sound.
Yeah. I'm so sorry about that. I've actually been a bit of a mess today. I apologize.
No, this is perfect for
This
this
is perfect.
podcast.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. Sick.
Yeah. Also, like gross body stuff is stuff we do all the time.
We talk about it. We
Yeah.
talk about
Sick.
shitting,
toilet flooding,
puking,
Yeah.
constantly.
toothbrush on your throat. Oh,
Have you guys
Yeah.
ever shit your pants as adults?
No.
oh, we've talked
Me
about this
either.
on the pod.
Yeah.
Me
Dude,
either.
Really?
I think it's counting down.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
You're like, I'm due for one.
Oh, I was like a week ago, I went to a joint in Chinatown and it was $5 for 15 dumplings. And when I was eating them, I was like, dude, you're going to shit like crazy later.
Yeah.
And I got the train home and on the train, I was like, something's brewing. Like, you got to get
Oh,
home
man.
like ASAP.
And you can feel it immediately.
Oh, it's like hot in your
Yeah.
stomach. Like, it's a
Yeah, yeah,
weird
yeah.
heat.
Mhm.
Yeah, it feels like you have like a chipmunk stuck in there. There's like movement.
warm body,
There's
yeah.
like a movement that you don't feel normally,
Yeah.
and it's like something's trying to get out, dude.
It like stands out so clear to every other
Yeah.
time. Because
Yeah.
like, you know, in the morning, like you wake up, I don't know about you guys, but like when I get up and like I have a coffee, I'm like, okay, something's gone down. But it's
Yeah.
not crazy.
Totally.
Yeah.
But that feeling is like so specific.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I remember I was walking home, I was walking down the street. I was like, I reckon like 5 houses down. And I remember being like, if I'm not on the toilet in like 30 seconds, dude, it's fucking happening. And I've never like had a clearer like keys to in the door
Yeah.
moment. Because if I'd fumbled them for a second, it
Yeah.
would have been all over. So I like just made it.
Is this why
Yeah.
you wear your shoes all the time?
That's
in
what-
case you have
Yeah.
to run to shit somewhere.
That's
where the real fear is. Yeah,
yeah. You're like, yeah, no, I just have to bolt.
I'm terrified of an intruder. Like.
You know, there have been times where I like, has this ever happened to you? Sometimes I'll know I have to poop and
Yeah,
I know
yeah,
it's kind of a crazy one.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But I'm not thinking I got to shit my pants until I get on the toilet. And I'm like, you could have been shitting your pants.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I didn't know how
Yeah.
sensitive I was
It
at that
became
moment.
real at that moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
possibility.
I've the last few days, I've been in bed. This is so gross, but I've been in bed and I'm like, damn, I need to shit. And then I have gotten there and then it's happened so quickly that if I was like on the other side of the bed, I'd have shit
Yeah,
the bed.
Totally.
Exactly.
Like it's at like, it's
Uh-huh.
like, yeah.
It's like knocking on
Sometimes
heaven's
I don't
door.
know it's that
Yeah.
important.
It's
that
a
it was,
game of
like,
millimeters.
That time.
Yeah. Totally. God.
Yeah.
Just narrowly escaping shitting your pants at every moment of the day. It's crazy.
I'm surprised more people aren't in that more. Like I had a
Totally.
friend stay with us for 2 weeks and I asked him, I was like, how close do you reckon you come to like shitting your pants? And he was like, never.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck? What fucking life are you leading? Because even when you eat healthy,
Yeah.
dude, I'm shitting
It still
more.
happens.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
we did a dal cleanse. Like my girlfriend wanted to, or my fiance wanted to do like a dal cleanse.
Mhm.
So she cooked this like massive pot of it. And you have it like morning, lunch, and dinner.
Yeah.
And I had the morning one. And then by lunch, I was like, dude, I was fucking shitting like I never had before. And it's like, how are you then going out into the world and living when you're doing stuff like this?
Yeah,
Very distracting too.
No, totally. Yeah, I'm
caught
like,
up
people
in the
with day
shit.
jobs don't do this. You have to work from home to like.
There's
be
only
eating
been
like
a couple
this.
times where I knew I had to take a shit, like a bad shit, right before I went on stage. And it's like, you can't focus.
Yeah,
you know?
totally. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're just clenching your cheeks the entire fucking
Yeah.
time.
And the whole time it's like, am I in a bad dream?
Yeah,
Where
I
I'm
know.
about to shit my pants on
Shit my pants on
stage.
stage.
And it just hasn't happened yet, but I know it will.
Yeah.
I had a friend, we did a gig in rural Victoria in Australia, and we'd gone to a 24-hour Pizza Hut, which like it was the last one in the whole country.
Wow.
And we're like, dude, we should go there because that's where like the gig is. We went there and it was like the most disgusting food ever.
Yeah.
And then we both did our sets, and he was like acting particularly weird, like like he was like really out of who he was. And I was like, I don't know why he's acting like this out in the country. It's like, what the fuck? And then we got in the car and it immediately smelled like shit. And I was like, dude, what's up with your car? Like it fucking reeks. And we drove the whole way back with the windows down. And he was like, I don't know, maybe the fucking aircon's like messed up. And it was like,
knew.
dude, it was like 2 years later. He was like, hey, you know that gig we did in Ballarat? I shit my pants on stage and I couldn't admit it to you. So I just acted like the car was fucked.
You're like, I think something crawled in there and died.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck is up with your car? It didn't smell like this on the way down. What's going on? And it was legit like 2 years later.
He's like, buddy, I got to tell you something.
Yeah.
He's like making amends.
I think I brought up because he still had the same car. I was like, is your car still fucking, does it still reek? And he was like, yeah, just so you know.
Man.
Oh God, shitting your pants and then sitting in it for 2 hours.
That's what I
can't
didn't
imagine
get.
doing
I was
that.
like, man, fucking go to the bathroom.
Go to the bathroom
clean it.
and throw out your
I'd
underwear.
Like everything.
Yeah.
Like,
I'd much rather have the embarrassment of my friend knowing than
Totally.
having to sit in my own shit.
I
Yeah,
know, that's
tell
something you
me.
have to
Yeah.
share.
That's embarrassing
with the
for
people around
me
you,
to
yeah.
sit in my poop for an hour. Or
Yeah,
two.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Totally.
Terrible.
I've done that. I remember
How are you treating yourself?
I know.
where's your self-care, man?
Yeah. At least put some of this burden on me. You know? You don't have to go through this alone, buddy. Tell me you shit your pants.
Yeah. You said you had a couple stories?
Man,
I guess you've done two now.
I don't know if this is. I mean, this is me being dumb. but,
Anything
like,
counts.
Anything
Hell
counts.
yeah. This isn't a braggy story, so I don't want it to be that. It was just humiliating.
You're just saying that for the Australians with the tall poppies.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is me like this is me
We don't
cutting
care.
myself down beforehand.
It's actually not a good story. It's not a good thing to happen to me, really, if you think about it from a certain perspective. Okay.
Anyway, I was gifted $1 million. No, I did. So this was when Gillis was hosting SNL,
Mm-hmm.
and a friend of mine who's from Australia is one of his like openers
Yeah.
over here, and he was like,
Who is
"Hey,
it?
James McCann."
Oh, I think I've heard the name, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the strangest man. I love him to bits, but he's like an oddball.
Yeah.
He was like in New York, and he was like, "Hey, we're gonna watch it live, like
Yeah.
at our Airbnb, like come through." Went like didn't know anyone there, so I was nervous. So I just
Yeah.
like panic drank,
Mm.
got trashed, and then he was like, "Hey, you should come to like the rap party."
Uh-huh.
And I was like, "Do you need like an entry? Like, how do I get in? Whatever." And he's like, "Oh, we'll just like try to sneak you in, whatever." And so we go to the like venue, and it was a restaurant bar kind of place. And we got to the door, and the bouncer was like, "We need a name," and he was like, "Oh, it's James McCann." And then somehow me, him, and my fiance just got in. Like we
Yeah.
didn't need to give
Damn,
anything.
that's so sick.
Dude, it was crazy. So
I mean,
we were-
it's not that cool.
Yeah.
So, people don't think that you're,
yeah.
you know,
For
just
Australian
bragging.
listeners, Ali
Been done
just told me
before.
one.
It's not like
actually
a
not that
unique idea. People have gotten into parties, so
Honestly, anybody could have gotten in, probably.
yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah, they were letting everyone in, actually. Yeah. It was a pretty light party now that we got. But we got in, and I was like, oh, I'm just going to get drunk. Like, I'm just going to
Totally.
get trashed.
Yeah.
And so I was just like drinking with random, I didn't even know anyone. So I was like, it was just
Yeah.
me and my fiance, and my mate had gone and just hung with Shane. And I was like, yeah, fair, you know him, whatever. And so we just got like trashed. And dude, US booze fucking hits different than Australian
yeah?
booze
Really?
because we like I don't drink beer, like I only drink like whiskey sodas and shit.
Yeah.
And so but you guys free pour it.
Oh,
Yeah.
Mhm.
So it's like you're getting drunk at the discretion of the bartender, really.
Yes.
Whereas it's like measured, it's a shot.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I had like 3 whiskey sodas and I was like so trashed. Like I went to the bathroom and just like, this is so gross. I haven't said it to anyone, but just vomited in the middle of the bathroom while, what's his fucking name? Like Joe DeRosa was pissing in a urinal. And so I'm just like puking behind here. Like I'm trashed, right?
Yeah.
And I was drunk enough that I was like, I need to go home. Like, I
Wait,
have to
the
go
way
home.
you're describing the way you puked, it makes it feel like you're standing straight up and just puking straight. But did
That's-
you bend over?
Like,
You were
honestly,
standing straight up.
barely. Like, because I was like, I wanted to hit a sink. So I was like, all right, I'm going to go for a sink. But then by the time I got in there, it was too late. So it was like shooting out. And it was like projectile. It wasn't
Yeah.
like just coming
Yeah.
out.
You're like a hose that has a thumb on it.
Yeah.
Just fucking painting the tiles.
Oh, fully like, and everyone is like, "What the fuck?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm sorry."
Oh, man.
Anyway, you're fucking Joe DeRosa. Hey? Like, just
Jesus
fucking
Christ.
wiping my face with like my arms, like not even washing my hands.
Oh,
Well,
man.
I mean, that I understand because you had to get out of there.
Oh, dude,
Yeah.
I was like, I'm out. And
Yeah.
so I walk out and I go up to my partner. Also, on the way from the bathroom to seeing my fiance, it's a restaurant. So there's like tables and shit.
yeah.
And that are all set up like people are going to dine or whatever. But it's
Yeah.
like 3 a.m.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And I just decide to grab a knife and a fork and put them in my pocket and then a plate and put it down my pants.
As souvenirs.
Yeah. And I grab a whole pot plant that's like the centerpiece of a table. And I was wearing a big coat because it was winter. And I stuff it down my coat and just zip it all the way up. And so in my jacket pockets, I've got my hands and I'm holding a fucking pot plant on the inside.
And then you go to your fiance and you're like, we have to get out of here.
Literally, I was
I
like,
threw up in the bathroom
I
and
was
stole
like,
a plant.
Babe, we gotta go. Trust me. Also, just so you know, I got a pot plant for the windows, and it's gonna look fucking great.
And you're also
Trust me.
hiding your vomit smell.
Dude,
in
I
there.
fucking it's like
Yeah.
on my chin and shit.
Oh, my
And
God.
my fiance's like, you gotta say hi to Shane. Like, say hi to Shane.
No.
And so I was
No,
like,
not
fucking
worth
hell, I'll
it.
say hi to Shane.
Holding a plant in your coat.
Dude, I got a plate stuffed down my fucking underwear. I got a knife and fork in each pocket and a pot plant under my jacket. And I'm like, yeah, I'll go say hi to the dude who just fucking hosted SNL. And so I walk over and there's like 20 people around him.
Yeah.
And like, yeah. And my mate was standing right next to him, James. And I like did the thing where I was like, hey, James, hey, mate. And like
Yeah.
said, hey, great job, whatever. And Gillis was like, where did you watch like SNL? And in my head, I was like, I'll be funny. And so I was like, I pointed to my friend James and I was like, I watched it at this fucking idiot's house. And like, Gillis just turned to me and was like, you mean James? You mean my friend? Yeah, you talking about my friend when you said that? And I was like, oh yeah, nah, but like I was being silly.
Yeah.
And dude, with a fucking pot plant under the jacket.
You should have been like, you know what? I said that because I got a plate in my pants.
I should have been like,
And I'm
you
not
want
myself right now.
You want a fancy knife and fork?
Listen, dude, I'm just trying to steal from this venue. You don't have to talk to me. I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
And then my girlfriend grabbed my arm and was dragging me away, and I was like, I thought that went pretty well. And she was like, are you fucking kidding me?
Did she realize how? I mean, you threw up, so she must have known you were super drunk.
She knew I was trash, but I feel like I can hide it pretty well.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
I came back and I was like, I mean, I was G'd up because I had I just stolen some cutlery. So I was like, babe, we got a new knife and fork for the house.
Yeah.
Like,
A new knife and fork.
Yeah.
Singular. I have a new knife, fork, and plate.
You have like adrenaline from it, so you're like focused again.
oh yeah, dude, I was I thought I was fucking laser sharp. Like,
yeah, it was like fucking Ocean's 11 in your mind. Oh God,
Man, that's so good.
Dude, it was that was a time where I was like, I woke up the next day and I had to message my friend and I was like, oh, I'm so sorry about that. And he was being so polite because he just wrote back, "You were a superstar. What are you talking about?" And I was like, "Oh, you were fucked as well." Like,
It probably wasn't even remembered. You know.
Oh yeah.
I
Everyone's
hope
probably
not. I don't
super
think so.
wasted.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Also, I'm
also-
sure Shane was fucking
Yeah.
trashed as
Yeah.
well.
In
And he
my
was like,
mind-
"Don't say that about my friend.
that
Don't
was,
call him a fucking idiot."
That's what the vibe was, and I was like, "Oh, I put my foot in it here." Hey, like,
Also, if you're like, I watched it at this fucking idiot's house, obviously you're friends.
yeah.
yeah.
It was just, I think the combo of saying that, getting called out on saying it,
Yeah.
concealing shit
Yeah.
on my person. It was one of those ones where I'm like, yeah, I don't think I've played that right. Like,
Yeah.
Oh god, that's
Man,
so.
these are
fucking
great
good.
stories.
Yeah.
oh, it's so embarrassing. It was, yeah. Oh, I still think, I just remember his face being like, that's my friend. Like, oh, just burnt into my mind, you know?
Shane Gillis just disapproving of you.
Oh, yeah.
Can't remember a single other thing from the night, but
Yeah.
you do remember that.
I remember I went up to, also, there was like a famous football guy there that I didn't know. And, you know, in Australia, we'd say the C word. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, all the time.
All the
Totally.
time. And I just walked up to a giant man and I went, "You're a fucking big cunt, eh?" And people were like, "That's like a Patriots player. That's like something like that." And I was like, "I don't fucking know. I just got here." Like,
Have you found, because I feel like it's becoming more accepted here to say cunt.
dude,
Totally.
people.
And that people know that like in some cultures it's good. It's like
Yeah.
a positive thing.
I think so. I still like. I don't know. I think the way it's said in like UK, Ireland, and Australia is a bit
Mhm.
more chill than here.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think
Big
it's
time.
because you guys hit the T on cunt pretty
Mm.
hard. It just
Sounds like sharp.
Yeah,
No, you're
yeah,
right.
yeah.
Yeah.
It sounds cutting, you know?
Totally.
Yeah.
It's like the difference between the N word with an R or an A.
Fuck,
Yeah, that's the only difference.
That's what you're saying, yeah.
That's
And it's
actually
definitely only that, by the way. And definitely not anything else about it. Well, because like in America, cunt.
you're trying to gloss over what you said so
Well,
quick.
because I have something to say about it. Because in America, cunt is a
Cunt.
gendered word.
That's what tripped me out.
That's
I
the
didn't
difference.
know that.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. So it's like if you call a woman a cunt or a bitch, it's like a little bit worse than like I don't
Yeah.
know, like calling somebody like a fucktard or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's not as
Or calling someone a dick is like, that's for everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though
It's like gender neutral, but I
Yeah.
think that there's people probably like a little bit older than us who view cunt as like an
It's like the
especially
worst.
bad. It's the worst
Yeah.
thing you could call a woman,
Yeah.
and I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, relax.
That's the thing that tripped me out. I didn't know it was like fully like a gendered thing because in
Yeah.
Australia it's not anything. Like
Mhm.
I was
Yeah.
saying this to someone the other day. Like, did I call? Like, if I call my mum, I'll be like, "Fucking, what's going on, cunt?" Like,
Yeah.
but it's just like, and she'll be like, "Nothing much, cunt." Like, it's not
Yeah.
like a
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
But I was at a bar with a mate who she's from here, and but she lived in Australia for
Yeah.
ages, so she knew. And she said something, and I just went, "Fuck off, cunt!" And like, dude, when I say like everyone in the bar turned around, it was like everyone in the bar
Yeah.
turned around, and I had to be like, "I'm from Australia.
Yeah.
Like, it's not. Trust me, if you go there, you can say it." Like,
Yeah. Well, even fuck off. I feel like that's so common over there and in
Yeah,
New
yeah.
Zealand, and it's like kind of like a fun thing to say. You know,
Oh,
it's like
yeah.
get out of here.
And it's like more aggressive here.
but when you hear it over here, it sounds like you're like so mad.
yeah, people are like, fuck off.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I
like
used to
a
say
more
it
aggressive
more when I
thing.
moved here, and then I started to be like, oh, people take that seriously.
Yeah.
that's so fun because it's like a playful thing.
It's
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
being like,
yeah.
"Oh, fuck
It's
off."
like fun.
yeah,
Yeah.
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 Totally. I don't know. It's fucking crazy. Everybody,
Yeah.
we say crazy shit over here.
Yeah.
Everybody's so, it like bothers me how polite everyone is sometimes. Also,
In
like,
New York,
let me tell you something.
what if I was like, "Nah"?
You're like, absolutely not. Next.
I feel like it's polite about different stuff though.
It's weird because like I don't know. I grew up in Boston and like obviously like people from New York are like, you know, share lineage with people from Boston. It's all the northeast of the states, but like it feels like I'll be like talking about stuff and people will think I'm like actually angry about it.
Mm.
And I find that a lot in New York not with like New York people like who grew up here, but like from transplants.
Just because you're talking with energy about it.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And I just have like everybody just thinks I'm fucking mad all the time, but I'm not.
Because you're like pointing up real hard.
Yeah, and I'm like, you fucking piece of shit. Because everybody's
Sorry,
taller
just to
than
let you
me.
know, you're stressing me out when you do that. As a transplant, that was a lot.
I feel like the pointing is more like, hey, I'm talking right now at you.
Dude, I'm all the way down here. I need people to listen to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I need to fucking figure out a way to get people to listen to me. So I point up at them.
Yeah.
But
I wonder what, I just assumed, I guess it's just people, do people in like the Midwest yell? Like, do they talk with
they
fucking
don't.
energy? Like,
I
what's
think
the deal?
they're more similar to Australia and New Zealand.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, I'm assuming Australia and New Zealand were similar with like, I felt like it was super passive over there compared to New York. Like passive aggressive.
Yeah.
Which is also similar to the West Coast, which is where I'm from, Washington State.
mm-hmm.
But like maybe a little more in New Zealand. I remember when I first moved there, I was so confused. I was already raised in a place like that. So I was already familiar with it.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember in New Zealand getting there and being like, oh, this is extreme. But I didn't realize for like 6 months.
Yeah.
Because like I remember one time my friend was like, oh, where should we go for dinner? And they kind of said it as though they didn't really care. But they like said a few options. They're like, but I don't care. So then I selected one of the options they gave. And I was like, let's go there then. And then it felt weird, but I didn't know why.
Dude.
Until later I found out like it's all just a like illusion of politeness and like not caring and like
it's like total bullshit.
But then it turned out I offended them by thinking they didn't care. So I selected one.
Because they told you that.
Yeah, because they told me.
It's so crazy. Like this is what I hate about like Australia and New Zealand's understanding of America is we like go like, oh, you guys are arrogant, you're rude, you talk over people. But we do the complete opposite where we like half say what we want. Yeah. And then if like an American is like, oh, I want to do that, we're like, you're a piece of shit.
Yeah.
It's like, why don't we need to just be like, I want this. How about that place?
Totally.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I was supposed to just pick up on the tone that was slightly different for one of the options she said, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, well, I didn't hear that.
It's all, yeah.
I just heard you say you don't care.
Yeah. I have a fucking hard time dealing with people who like will not. I'm like, okay, so I was in a sketch group.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
They were, Thanks, buddy.
Hell yeah, dude.
Hey, fuck you guys. Don't fucking cheers over that, you pieces of shit. You shoes
That
always
was also
on.
really
10 years of
cabinets.
improv.
10 years? That's so long.
I know, and I was bad at it the whole time.
I've never met anyone who's done 10 years of improv.
I know.
It
It's
is
the
a
most
lot.
embarrassing thing about me, I think.
That's awesome.
What? So you started super young then?
I started in high school. We had an improv group in my high school.
17?
Probably younger.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I probably started like maybe when I was like 15, 16.
Oh, man.
I
You
know.
started doing improv at 15.
Yeah.
Why?
Can't imagine.
Well, things weren't very good at home.
Yeah.
And I wanted to be like, I'm a dog.
You wanted to be like, I'm pretending things are good.
Instead of being like, my mom's an alcoholic. So that's why I went into improv.
Yeah.
What if she was an alcoholic doctor?
What if she was an alcoholic who paid attention to me? My brother's not in jail. He's on a farm.
I'm like, I gotta call my brother in jail. Hold on.
You should write this bit. That's good.
Oh my God. Yeah, you're so
funny.
right.
Anyway, you're in improv.
I was in an improv group and it was all women, which has nothing to do with it, but it does. And we would meet up for like, we'd have like an hour or an hour and a half like writing session. And for the first half hour, everybody would just apologize to each other the entire fucking time.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Why?
They would be like, "Oh my God, I'm sorry, I'm late. I'm sorry, I did this. I'm sorry that I'm sorry I talked over you." And I'm like, I understand. I want people to be more polite in society, but also I'm like, we're here for a fucking reason.
Yeah, and like be polite in an effective way.
Yes.
This is like not helping.
Yeah, you're being
anything.
polite to the point where you're like not communicating effectively.
Yeah.
And so then we never knew what anybody wanted. And since everybody operated the same way, nobody would make decisions because they were like, well, you know, she said it was fine, but I don't know about that. And I'm like, bro, I can't fucking deal with this.
Yeah.
It was awful.
Like a performative
I mean, they're all really
politeness
nice.
kind of thing? Like,
I think that they were actually very genuine.
yeah.
Where they really
and
felt
scared
that
of
way.
upsetting people, but then
Yes.
but if nobody's letting you know what they want, then you don't even know if you're upsetting them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because
And so it was just
you don't
like
have enough
this
information.
Yeah.
huge cycle
Yeah.
of it constantly. They were all super like sweet and nice and funny and stuff, but it was just not a good place for me to be.
No, I do love that about being here because there's such a clear difference to like
Totally.
the West Coast and New Zealand where people do say what they mean most of the time. I feel.
Yeah. It feels
Yeah.
very like direct.
Yeah.
Mm.
Which like I think people mistake that for the rudeness.
Yeah.
Like where there's
Yes.
the whole like, oh, New Yorkers are fucking rude or whatever.
Totally.
But it's like, I think they're just kind of being direct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
I think so.
I think
There's
it's-
so
yeah.
many times I've been like, these people helped me and they did not have to. But
Yeah.
they were like
Yeah.
happy to help. They gave me what I
100%.
needed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also people just being like nice.
Mhm.
Like it,
Yeah.
yeah.
I would 100% rather somebody like yell at me and be like, I didn't like that you did that. That was
Yeah.
disrespectful. Than for them to be like seething privately and then nice to my
Yes.
face.
Oh,
I really just want to know
Yeah.
what's fucking going on with you.
You should be like, the line starts here.
Yes.
Not stand there and like look back at me weird because
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't know.
No, 100%. I'm
Dude.
like, I just can't fucking operate like that. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
I'm still bad with the like Australian shit. So I don't know if it's a thing, but people fucking love to cut in line here. And like
Yeah, that's true.
it is like
Yeah.
it's
Well, there's a lot of ambiguity, so it's easy.
Dude, that's
there's too
what
many
tripped me out with
people.
like bodegas and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, is
Mhm.
there a line or is there not?
Yeah.
Like, how does this actually
You
work?
can't
Totally.
hesitate too much. You
Yeah.
gotta just go up.
But
It's
that's
like-
also why everybody in the Midwest has a gun, so they can let everybody know that they're first in line.
Yeah.
Dude,
So there's consequences to everything. You know
I'd
what
feel
I mean?
so tough if I had a gun. Oh, to be honest, if I had a gun, I wouldn't be wearing my shoes at home.
Dude, if if you would
That's the new ad for
Yeah.
the National Rifle, whatever they are.
Are you a
NRA.
scared man in your home?
yeah. Dude, that's
Do
literally
you want to take off your shoes and feel safe? Get a gun.
Dude, that's literally every person I know who's obsessed with guns. Just like
Yeah.
my father, he's like super right wing. He's like a pastor, like a libertarian, like whatever. And he's like truly just the most nervous man I've ever met in
Same.
my entire life.
We have a very similar parents.
Fathers, yes.
Yeah, okay.
And like my dad like built a bunker in his backyard instead of just like taking a fucking Prozac. You know, it's like fucking insane.
Is it a cool bunker?
Uh-oh.
He won't let me in there.
Oh.
He won't let you in?
No.
You can't go in your dad's bunker.
Don't you need to know, like, don't you need, like, some familiarity with it if you're
Oh,
gonna
you
use
think
it?
my father built a bunker for me and
Dude,
him? That's
How
crazy.
angry would you be if like doomsday hits, bombs are going off,
Yeah.
you get it, there's one single bed in there?
Yeah.
It's like, I didn't plan for other
Yeah, he's
people.
like, yeah, I know.
This is a
I
me
mean,
bunker.
That
He
wouldn't be
probably-
surprising
He's
because of the
probably-
cot situation.
That's true.
When they were kids, she
that's
slept
true.
on a cot in the garage or something.
You slept in the garage.
So my parents are divorced. My
I'm
parents
I
are
starting
think about it
divorced.
all the time because it's so sad. But because I know you're fine now, I'm like, that's hilarious.
Dude, I'm
That's
starting
like
fine
a crazy
now?
thing to do.
to
I
see
don't know.
the improv at 15.
Yeah, yeah,
What?
yeah.
It's like,
And I'm
oh,
like-
okay.
I'm like, my dad loves me.
Yeah.
But yeah, my parents were divorced, and I was raised primarily
Yes, and we
by
had
my
comfy
mom.
beds. We were warm and safe. Sorry, it's sad. It is sad.
Brittany just roasting me for my broken family.
So brutal.
But like my parents were divorced and I was raised basically only by my mom, but I would like go visit my dad like once a month or whatever. And he had a like 2 or 3 bedroom house. And instead of making a room for me and my brother to sleep in, we would sleep on like roll out cots in the basement because my stepmom didn't want like kids stuff in the house.
I'm just imagining your dad sometimes accidentally tucking like a hammer into the cot and being like, oh, fuck, where's Sally? Like, you're just on a shelf with the other tools.
Yeah.
That is the most tragic thing I've ever heard.
It's fine, guys. I'm fine now. Fucking relax, everyone. I'm totally normal and everything.
Oh my days, that's so funny.
Yeah, well, now he sends me pictures of lettuce, so
Mhm.
That's
the
fun.
relationship's gotten better.
I remember my dad, I don't know if this is a crazy story. My dad, he's like a manic depressive, like mentally ill, classic mentally ill dad. And
Classic. Yeah.
Yeah,
Dude,
just the snail, the garden
Classic
variety.
schizophrenic dad. Yeah.
I've got a theory on this. I think mums are autistic and dads are bipolar. Is that a thing?
I feel like it's the opposite.
I feel
You
the same
reckon?
way. My dad's definitely autistic.
No, he
Real?
said moms are autistic.
Yeah.
I know,
Dads
but,
are bipolar.
but I'm saying that it's opposite for me.
Oh,
Oh,
I,
okay,
I
yeah,
do
yeah,
think
you
there's a
guys were-
pairing, though.
Yeah.
yeah.
I feel like both parents, they're one or the
Mhm.
other.
Totally.
Yeah.
But it's like no in between. Yeah.
Yeah. Or like, even if it's not bipolar, it's like, it's a person with extremes and a person who's like not extreme and focused. Like they're extreme in a different way.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like a narcissist and an autistic person. It's always an autistic person.
There is always one. Hey.
I know.
And
Yeah.
I'm not talking about my last relationship.
I remember my dad, like we've gotten closer over the last few years because he's like admitted his like mental illness. And I went down before I moved to New
Wait,
York.
so he's bipolar?
He's bipolar and like manic depressive and like a
Mhm.
few other things.
Yeah.
hmm
And he got put
Classic mentally ill dad. That's such a
Boring. I've heard this before. Say something exciting, dude. Or interesting. Jesus. Get in line, buddy. We're all like that.
Fucking hell.
Sorry, your father struggles with his mental health.
Sorry, you're about to really open up about your
I
family.
will.
Yeah, and then we were just like,
Dude, I was. That was the most vulnerable I've been the whole podcast.
yeah, I know, and we were
And
like,
then to just
shut it
hammered.
we just
down.
like called you gay. We're
Yeah.
like, gay. Anyway, I want to hear this.
So he was he got put in a like institution, and me and my brother would go and like look after him, and you can like take him out and like
Yeah.
on day trips and whatnot.
Yeah.
And so we took him out, and he was like, "Hey, I want to tell my dad, like my grandpa or whatever." And we're like, "Yeah, okay, sweet." And my grandpa like does not know how to deal with like any of that shit.
Mm.
And
Would
so
you say your grandpa has any similar
he's got
problems?
the tism hard.
Oh,
I
okay.
reckon.
Mhm.
Oh,
I
yeah.
reckon.
Yeah.
And so we went to a park and we got lunch, and it was like, yeah, we're just like eating. And my dad was like to his dad, like, "Hey,
Mhm.
can I talk to you about why I'm here?" Whatever. And
Mhm.
started talking to him. And the whole time my grandpa was like looking at this tree where, swear to God, where there were two crows like flying around it.
Yeah.
But he was just like staring at him. And so we're kind of watching him, and my dad is like talking, still being like, I've got this and blah, blah, blah. But he's like slowly stopping because he's just staring. And then he just gets up and walks over to the tree, and he's just like staring
This
at the
is
tree.
every family interaction I have.
Yeah.
Dude,
Trying to open up and someone's like, look at the fence.
yeah, what's
Look at these
going on over
birds.
there, actually,
Yeah.
now that I think about it?
They're
There's-
like, this seems hard to
Yeah.
talk
Yeah.
about.
There's something I need to pay attention to that's not right next
Yeah,
to
I
me.
know.
And so he starts walking over, and he's like staring at the tree, and he's like starts just pointing, and he's like, there's two baby owls in that tree, and he's pointing at the baby owls while the crows are circling it, and the crows are like fucking with the
Yeah,
owls.
Yeah.
And then he starts picking up rocks. And he starts throwing rocks at the crows.
Oh.
Is he close enough to hit them? It sounds like they're far
They're-
away.
Yeah, was he
No.
doing a good
He's
job?
like standing right under the tree, so he's
Oh,
close. But
okay.
the tree, it's like a eucalyptus tree, so it's kind of high.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And so he's throwing them up, and after like a minute, the crows start attacking him.
Man, crows are so smart and cool.
Dude, they like fully team up on him, and they start just like swooping into him, but like cutting out us. And so he's like dodging the crows, and then he like trips on one of those little cement blocks that are in
Yeah.
car parks. And he like trips on that. But the crows, when he hits the deck, he's like an old man.
Yeah.
So it takes ages to get up. So the crows are just fucking diving into him.
That's
And
so
then-
funny.
He gets up. After like a minute, he gets up, and then he comes back to the park bench and sits down, and he just turns to my dad and he's like, "So what were you saying?"
Oh my god.
Holy shit.
And
Oh
dad
my
just
God.
keeps telling the story.
Dude, what if your
Oh.
dad started talking about it again? He's like, I gotta go get attacked by these fucking crows, dude.
Yeah.
It's too much for me to handle emotionally. Also, hilarious that he like had the empathy, not for your father, but for the baby owls.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He was
Yeah.
like, these guys need help.
I'd never thought about that. That's so funny. Dude, those are some beings in need, and
Yeah.
I need to take
And he's like,
care
I gotta
of
be a
them.
hero right now.
Yeah.
There's a physical thing attacking them, and I
Yeah.
understand that.
Yes.
Mental, I don't get.
No.
But
He's like, I can see the crows. I can't see your fucked up brain.
Yeah. He's like, this guy's being attacked by himself. He can handle that.
Yeah.
he just needs to get some mental rocks going, and
Yeah,
then he can
yeah,
take-
yeah. He's
Mental
like,
rocks.
Mental rocks. I can't help with rocks if I can't see it. Dude, that's the only way your grandfather can like fix a
Throwing
problem
rocks.
is
Yeah,
with rocks.